Okay, we should be live. And I think... See, I'm going to turn the music down a little. Okay, I think we have someone waiting to come live on Zoom, so let's let them in. All right. Hello, I see Nita Apriani. And you might have to turn on your audio. You can play around with the phone settings. But today we're doing In the News number 5. Aha, there we go. Hello, Nita.
Hi, hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
All right. Welcome to this live lesson. Can you hear the music in the background? Hello, Nita, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, can you hear music in the background?
I don't think so.
Don't think so? All right, let's see. Let me try one thing. I'm going to share it again. Share computer sound, put screen, there we go. Okay, either way, I had put some music in the background. We'll see if it works or not. But let me just do the introduction and we'll get started. So this is a live English lesson. I see people popping up in the comments. Right now, Nita is here with me on Zoom. Mustafa says, yes, we are hearing. Okay, so maybe he can hear the music. Wonderful. So today we're talking about news stories. We're going to explore and explain interesting news situations. All right, so you can watch on Zoom if you want, or on YouTube, and you can type in the comments. If you want to come live with me, you can, there's an app. It's called Zoom Cloud Meetings. It's great, it's easy to use, and down below you should be able to see the Zoom. On YouTube, you should be able to see the Zoom meeting ID, 654-547-271. Okay, so, all right, Nita, are you ready to start?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so let's jump in and we're going to look at the first one. All right, so here we go. I put a red box around it because this is the interesting part. Okay, so Nita, do you want to help me read?
Let me read first.
Yeah, okay, I'll read first what's in the red box, and then you repeat after me. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Here we go. Thursday at 3:20 p.m., a resident who needed help opening a jar called police for assistance. Police opened the jar for the caller. Okay, go ahead, Nita.
Thursday at 3:20 p.m., a resident who needed help opening a jar called police for assistance. Police opened the jar for the caller.
So this is kind of a simple incident, I guess. This is the part of the newspaper where they talk about different things that have been happening in that city or town. And this one is kind of unique. Let's see, Nita, can you tell me what is a jar? Or what do we use a jar for, Nita? What do you think? Uh-huh.
A jar.
Uh-huh.
I'm
What?
not sure about this.
Okay, no problem. That's why we're here to learn. So if you don't know the answer to my question, just say, I don't know. And then we can look it up. So I think one great way is we're going to put a jar in for pictures. Aha. Okay, so let's see. Nita, can you see the pictures?
Yes.
All right, so this is a jar. And what kind of things do you think we put inside a jar?
Plants, water.
Sure. Huh?
Some leftovers maybe.
Yeah, sure. We could say food in a jar. It could be sugar, it could be ingredients, it could be liquid, anything you want. So,
Mm-hmm.
in this uh in this news story, uh can you tell me why did the people call the police?
Yeah, maybe I think it's really too tight, maybe, or too difficult to open, so they called the police to open it.
Yes. And
Uh,
let's see, I will type that. Very good. Let's see. The person, and you could say the caller. The caller is the person who makes the call. The person called the police to get help opening the jar that was too difficult to open. Uh huh. And let me ask you, Nita, is this a good reason to call the police?
um, I think it's still a bit exaggerating because I think they can ask for help with their neighbors or maybe with their, I don't know, families or friends because I think it's not a criminal, not a crime.
Right? Maybe if someone took the jar and they hit someone on the head, then, that's a good reason to call the police. But if you just,
Mm.
I mean, if this is a jar and you're like, it's too tight, and you call the police, that would kind of be an interesting conversation. You'd be like, hello. They'd be like, hello, what is your emergency? I can't open my jar of pickles. Uh-huh. Let's see. So I remember growing up, it was very common to have a jar of pickles. All right. Let's see. Nita, do you like pickles?
Mm, sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. It's just very common for them to be in a jar, and sometimes it's tight. And can you tell me what is the opposite of the word tight? So if we say the jar is, what's that?
Loose.
Loose. Yes, the jar is loose. Right. And sometimes there's lose and there's loose. Can you tell me the difference between these two words?
Loose, maybe it's like loose. The first word is like when you have something and it's disappeared, like maybe someone stole it, so lose it, and the second one lose the opposite of height.
Okay. So the first one is like win and lose, right? Maybe you lose a game or you lose your mind or you lose your book. Something disappears. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Right. So then loose is just right, the opposite of tight. Right. I think I'm going to pause the music. It's getting annoying. I can't hear. Okay. So repeat after me. Loose. Oh, I'm sorry. Lose. Can you say lose? Right? So we have lose and loose, right? So sometimes people mispronounce them. Lose as in we will lose the book or the jar is loose. Okay. All right. So I think we can agree this is probably not a good reason to call the police. And we have the word in there assistance. Let's see. What does the word assistance mean? What do you think, Nita? So it says called police for assistance. What does the word assistance mean? Are you still there, Nita? All right. I don't know if Nita's here, but I do see in the comments that Mitarere Inglés says help. Mustafa RZ says help. Yes. If we want assistance, we want help. Right. Okay. So that's usually what people call the police for. But it's usually like, someone's going to hurt them or they see something happening that's breaking the law. Okay, so once again, here we go. think she had muted her microphone. That's all right. So Thursday at 3:20 p.m., a resident is just a person who lives within the city. So the police will work in a certain area, right? In a certain boundary or certain limitation for the city. And a resident is a person who lives in that city or in that location. Okay, so a resident who needed help opening a jar called police for assistance, for help. Police opened the jar for the caller. So they helped out whoever it was, and then they probably left. They probably laughed and thought it was funny. Okay? Right? See? All right, let's go to the next one. Here we go. Right? Nita, are you still there? See? All right. See if we're still alive. Let's see. Layla Almeida says, "Teacher, I can't see you and another person." All right. Let's see. Anybody else out there? Can you see us? Is the live going? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? If you could let me know in the comments. Right. Garden says hello. Okay. All right. Can you guys hear the live? Is it working okay? Can you hear everything? We need feedback. See? All right. I'm going to assume that it's okay. Okay. Mi Tarea de Inglés says, yes, everything's all right. Okay. Wonderful. See? Okay. Let's see. Well, Nita, if you can't hear me, or maybe you could go out and then come back in. So you could exit and then come back in, and maybe that will fix it. All right. Okay. So let's talk about this one. All right. Okay. And I'm curious. Layla Almeida says, but I can't see. Let's see. Mustafa RZ says, you are seen, but not the other one. The other one, she just had a picture, right? She didn't have her video on. All right. Layla Almeida says, only listening. Not sure what that means, because when I go to YouTube, I think I am live. I can check on my phone. Let's see. All right, let's go to YouTube. There we are. And let's see if I'm live. All right, it says 7 people are watching. Great. All right, and let's see. Oh, there's the live chat. All right. So there's no video, huh? Let's see what's happening there. Oh, now there is. I think there's just a delay. Give me a moment while I figures this out. All right, let's see now. Where did my video go? The wonders of the internet. All right, let's see. Nita, are you there?
Hello.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I had a little connection problem.
No problem. This is very informal. We come and we go, and it's no problem. I think we have someone else, Guzal G. You're more than welcome. Might have to turn on the audio, but okay. So, Nita, are you ready for the next one?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm going to read it, and then you repeat after me, okay? Right, and I will say, first I'll say, hello, Guzal, are you there?
Hello.
All right, hello, I think you came last time. Welcome back. Okay, so I will read, and then Nita is going to repeat. Here we go. Theft. A woman in the 1900 block of 129th Lane Northeast reported October 15th that someone must have stolen her mail because she did not receive birthday cards from some of her friends. All right, go ahead, Nita.
A woman in the 1900 block of the 129th Lane Northeast reported October 15 that someone must have stolen her mail because she did not receive birthday cards from some of her friends.
Okay. All right, Guzal, would you like to read as well?
No, thank you.
Okay, right. This is very informal. I'll ask you if you want to participate. If you don't want to, no problem. Okay. So can someone tell me, what does the word theft mean? It's right here at the beginning. Theft. Let's see.
It's a person who stole something. Maybe.
It's very, very close. The theft is the thing that happened. The person is called a thief. I think it's IEF. Right? So the person is the thief. The action, what happened, the incident was a theft. So a theft is someone stole something, or they took something and it wasn't theirs. Let's see, in the comments on YouTube, Mitare de Inglés says robbery, and there is a difference between robbery and theft. And this is a good one. When it comes to the law, let's see, theft versus robbery. What is the difference? Let's see, Nita, do you have any idea? What is the difference between theft and robbery? You can guess. You could say that there's. Go ahead.
If I can guess, robbery is like maybe a guy who stole something, like in a bank, stole money.
Okay, it's a good guess.
But
Good.
It's like goods or million.
All right, Guzal, what do you think? Do you have any guess? What's the difference between theft and robbery?
Maybe theft, it is a little crime, but robbery, it's a big crime.
Ooh, both of your guesses are getting very close. All right, so the difference is the use of force. So if we're talking about force, we're talking about violence. You're hurting someone, or you're threatening to hurt someone. So theft is usually no violence. So maybe you go into a store and you take a bottle and you stick it under your coat and you walk out, right? You stole something, but you didn't hurt anyone, all right? But a robbery equals with violence, or the threat of violence. So, Nita, what does threat mean? If I say the threat of violence, or could you give me an example?
Threat of violence.
Huh?
Stole the mail. Sorry. I have no clue.
Okay, Guzal, what do you think? What would be a threat of violence, or an example of a threat of violence?
I have no idea too.
Okay, well, let's see. I think pictures are great. Let's see, man pointing a gun. How about that? There we go. If you walk down the street and suddenly someone walks up to you and goes like this, how do you feel, Nita?
Threat of violence.
Yes. How do you feel? What are your emotions?
Fear. Fear, scary, and maybe I'm gonna shout.
Yes. Exactly.
Ask somebody for help.
Yes, right. So there is a threat of violence, because if he shoots you, you die, or you get hurt, right? So there is a threat of violence. It could also be a knife. It could be some sort of weapon, but it's something that could possibly hurt you. So that is a threat of violence. And if you steal something, so for example, the word shoplifting, right? See, so shoplifting, let's see, Guzal, can you tell me, what is this nice young lady doing right here?
They stole
Of the
Uh-huh. And
something from the shop.
yes, and can you tell me what kind of action? What is she doing with the thing?
Um, she put it in her packet.
Ah, it's close. We could say she's putting it under her coat. She's hiding it under her coat. And I think maybe it's a purse. Not quite sure. But yeah, she's stealing something. All right. And so this is a theft. And if I ask you, Nita, who is she hurting? Is she hurting anyone?
No.
Like
Yeah.
physically. I mean, it's hurting the store.
Physically, no.
Aha. And how does it hurt the store? What do you think?
Mm.
Uh-huh. Or Guzal, how does it hurt the store if she steals this purse?
I don't know.
And when we say hurt, it doesn't have to be physical violence. It could mean just that the store loses money, right? So it hurts their budget. It hurts their finances. So it's not physical hurt, but it's maybe a monetary or money hurt. Okay. So let's see. Theft. Here we go. So a woman in the 1900 block of the 129th Lane Northeast. This is just the address, the part of the city. October 15th, that someone must have stolen her mail. Now let's see. She said must have. So let's see, Guzal, if she said must have stolen her mail, does she have good evidence? What do you think? Or what is another way to say must have stolen, that someone must have stolen? Maybe I'll just go straight to it. She thinks someone stole it, right? But she's maybe not sure. So must have stolen her mail because she did not receive birthday cards from some of her friends. So let's take a look at birthday cards. Let's see, Nita, can you tell me what do they usually put on birthday cards? What kind of message?
Congratulations.
Yes, happy birthday. We hope you have a wonderful day. You're getting
some wishes.
Yes, good wishes. Let's see. Here's an example. I've made you a traditional English trifle for your birthday. Okay. I guess it's supposed to be a joke somehow, but we won't worry about that. Okay, so the lady thinks that someone stole her mail because she didn't get birthday cards. All right, so Nita or Guzal, can you think of a different explanation why she didn't get birthday cards?
Maybe friends didn't receive her.
Right. Maybe her friends don't like her. So maybe they didn't send the mail and she didn't receive anything. And she thought she would get mail, but no one sent anything. Okay. But let me ask, before I move to the next one, Nita or Guzal, do you have any questions? Any words or phrases or anything about this one that you don't understand or you would like me to explain?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Nita?
No question.
Okay, all right. And if you have a question or you think it's a silly question, don't worry, because I've found when I study and I think it's a silly question, usually someone else in the audience has the same question. All right, let's see. In the comment says, Mita Rede Inglés says, because Facebook didn't remind her friends. Sure. So, UQ Kawaii says maybe she has no boyfriend. And she's just upset because no one remembered her birthday. And I guess she called the police. So let me ask you, Guzal, is this a good reason to call the police?
No, it isn't.
isn't. Ah, and Guzal asks you, did you see the last one about the jar?
Yes.
Okay, do you think which reason is better for calling the police? Open a jar or possible stolen mail?
Maybe the second
Yeah,
one.
they're both not really good, but I agree. The second one is probably a better reason because it's possible. All right, okay, so let's go to
Maybe there were money.
yes,
she
possible.
thought.
Huh? Let's see. We have a question in the comments, and it's a little bit unrelated, but we'll take a moment. Let's see. It says, I have a question. What's the difference between France and friends in pronunciation? Well, France is France, and friends is friends. So here we have more of a short E sound, friends, and we have an A, more of an A sound, France. So France and friends, or I saw my friends in France, or I will be in France when I see my friends. Huh? All right, so let's go to the next one. All right. Okay, so I will read, and Nita, do you want to read after me? After I do it? So I'll read first. All right, here we go. Let's see. Police went to a North State Street address just after midnight.
Sorry, I lost your voice.
Ah, you lost my voice. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but you could maybe do what you did last time and go out and in, and then I can, unmute you. All right, so here we go. Police went to a North State Street address just after midnight, November 20th, after getting a call about a disturbance. Officers found an engaged couple. They're arguing about what time Kmart closed. Police told them the store's hours and the couple calmed down. All right, Nita, do you want to read? Or did the audio go out? Guzal, do you want to read?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Police went to a North State Street address just after midnight, November 20, after getting a call about a disturbance. Officers found an engaged couple there arguing about what time Kmart closed.
Uh-huh.
Police told them the store's hours and the couple calmed down.
Uh-huh. So maybe first, are you familiar what is Kmart?
No, maybe it's a kind of shop.
Uh-huh.
Or
right, exactly. And I think actually it went out of business, but for a long time in the US, Kmart was very successful. Right? So I don't know if they're still alive or still in business, but Kmart is actually a really big, it's kind of like Walmart. Have you heard of Walmart? Walmart or Target, but it's just a huge store where they sell all clothing, tools. It's like a department store. It's very big inside. All right. Okay. So that is what Kmart is, and so they were arguing about what time Kmart closed. So there's a word here that it says disturbance. Let me spell it right. Guzal, what is a disturbance?
It is when if you are busy and someone interrupt you from doing something.
Ah, so I think you're thinking about the verb to disturb, right? Which is kind of like to interrupt, maybe to bother while you're busy. So that's in there. Disturb. A disturbance is similar, but there's a little bit extra meaning. So a disturbance is any sort of, well, if it's the police are saying a disturbance, it basically means a problem. Something's happening. And in this situation, what was the problem, Guzal? Why do you think the police went there?
Please repeat the question.
Sure. in this situation, why did the police go here? Why did they respond? Why did they travel to this place? What do you think? What was the problem?
Because the couple was arguing about something.
Uh-huh. And do you think,
Maybe
go ahead.
they cried or
Uh-huh.
maybe the mess.
Right. So, do you think they were arguing in a very respectful way?
I don't think.
Don't
Maybe
think so.
someone other people call police.
Ah, right. So let's see. Maybe they had like a wild argument. Let's see. Oh, let's see. We don't want text. We want a picture. No, that's not where we're going. Let's see. People arguing. Let's see what. All right. Okay. So yeah, maybe they were like, people were afraid that they were gonna hurt each other, or maybe cause big problems, or cause a disturbance. All right. A disturbance is when there's an incident, there's a problem, it could get into something worse where people are hurt, so they called the police. Okay. And yeah, so they were arguing about the store hours, right? If we talk about store hours, what do I mean, Guzal, if I say store hours?
Maybe a girl wanted to buy something else, but and your man said her to go home because it was the end of the day.
Okay. Uh-huh. And if we say store hours,
Opening times, yeah, or closing times.
yes, right. So here we go. Opening times, closing times, all that stuff, right? And for some reason, they were arguing. Maybe one person is like, they open at 8 o'clock. And they're like, no, it opens at 9. And then the other person's like, 8, 9, 8, 9. And they're like, you want to fight? And then the people are like, call the police. All right. Okay, so do you think this is a good reason to call the police, Guzal?
No, I think no.
Okay, and what information would we need to know before we would decide that it's a good reason to call the police? What do you think? Or
Maybe
go ahead.
if there is a violence, if we see violence or someone kick another person, or
Right, if someone attacks, people are getting hurt or there's violence, exactly. I'm just going to put the word disturbance in the dictionary to make sure everyone understands what it means. Here we go. So as disturbance, the interruption of a settled and peaceful condition. So there was peace, people were just talking, people were relaxed, and all of a sudden, rah, something big happened. And it could be a breakdown of peaceful and law-abiding behavior. Now, a riot, you know what a riot is, Guzal?
No.
You're about to find out. This would be an extreme disturbance. All right. This is a riot. So where people are fighting and crazy and they want to destroy things, maybe things are burning. You could call it a disturbance, but it's like an extreme disturbance, and everyone is probably calling the police, right? You're gonna look.
Offense.
Offense? Well, that's part of it. Offense. There are probably offenses happening because each individual action that breaks the law would be an offense. So if people break into a store, breaking into the store is an offense, and it's part of the riot, but each individual action that breaks the law would be an offense. Let's see, UQ Kawai says the question is, why is the couple arguing about what time Kmart closes? What do you think, Guzal? Why was the couple arguing about what time Kmart closed?
Maybe a girl wanted to continue shopping and she thought it wasn't closing time, but her man wanted to go home and
Sure.
it was too late and he
Ah.
was tired and wanted to sleep.
Right, right. And here it says officers, so that'd be the police officers, the policemen, found an engaged couple. Now type it over here. Can you tell me what is an engaged couple?
It's a couple, married couple. Maybe.
Not quite. What else do you think? They're
Engaged.
they're going to be married. They already have, he asked her, yes, UQ Kawai says they want to get married. So they're planning to get married. So the man has, let's see, proposed marriage. Right? So, he's like, will you marry me? And she's like, yes, I love Kmart. I love you too. So they are engaged. And we have what's called the engagement rings. So they probably there we go, engagement rings. They've probably already given rings, and it's like a promise. So if you say a couple is engaged, they promise each other that they will get married. It's a commitment to get married. All right. So, if they're not married yet, here's my question, Guzal. Let's see. I'll try not to make it too long. If they're not married yet and they're arguing about Kmart, how do you think their marriage will be?
It will be difficult for them.
Right? This is probably not a good thing to argue about, but yes, maybe when they get married, they'll argue about other things. Okay.
And
all right.
It's not so important, the working time of a shop.
Right. So maybe it's possible that there is a bigger problem that maybe they're not talking about. And so they talk about the little things that don't matter, but they're still angry because they haven't talked about the big problems. Don't know. Okay. All right. Let's see. Guzal or Nida, do you have any questions about this one before we go to the next one?
Is Nida here?
I don't know. I don't know. I see the picture that represents her, but I don't know. If she doesn't respond, maybe she's busy but just wants to listen. That's okay. So let me ask you, Guzal, do you have any questions before I move forward?
No, I haven't.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's do one with an animal. Okay. First, let's just do the headline. This is called the headline right here. Just the title of the thing. So I'll read it, and then Guzal, repeat after me. Here we go. Bear falls through skylight into party, then eats all the cupcakes.
Bear falls through skylight into party, then eats all the cupcakes.
Okay. Right. And here's just a quick question. Is this 100% correct English, or is it incorrect English? What do you think? And you could say it's incorrect, but it fits in this situation because it's just a fragment, right? It's not a complete sentence. A complete sentence would probably be a bear falls through the skylight into a party, then eats all of the cupcakes. But when it's a headline, it's very common to just use quick English. So, okay. So first off, what is a skylight? Do you know, Guzal? What is a skylight?
Maybe it's a roof. I don't know.
Aha. Good. It's something in the roof. See, I'll show you, and you see, maybe you can describe it to me.
Maybe window. Yeah.
Yes, so a skylight is just a window in the roof. And why do people like skylights? What do you think?
Because room will be with light.
Yes, right. And there's a specific term we could say natural light.
And at night they will see stars.
Right.
Night
Right.
sky.
Right. And it'll be kind of cool at night, right? Sure. So natural light could be during the day. And at night you see stars. Sure. Right. It's common to say a house with a lot of natural light. With a lot of natural light. It's usually something people want. One thing, it makes their electricity bill much lower. And then second, it just feels more open and wide and space, full of space. Right, let's see. So a bear falls through the skylight. So if a bear fell through the skylight, what do we know about the bear's location before he fell through? What do you think, Gozal?
Maybe this house is in forest.
It's possible, sure. So
and there was a ladder or something.
And is it? Go ahead.
He just wanted to find something to eat.
Let's say UQ Kawai says from a helicopter. Maybe. Okay, so if we finish a sentence, how about this? Somehow the bear what? Before
managed to climb to climb the house, or
we could say climb up onto the roof. That's one way. Or we could say somehow the bear managed to climb on top of the house, maybe. Or maybe the bear was in a helicopter and the helicopter landed on the house. So tell me about cupcake. Go ahead.
On balloon. Air balloon.
Something. Let me see. Like a hot air balloon. Maybe something like this. So regular balloons are just like, party balloons. But if we have a hot air balloon, something huge that people can ride in. So this is a cool bear. You can do that. All right. Let's see. What are cupcakes?
Cupcakes. It's a kind of dish or meals.
Okay.
Fried on pan. It's made of batter.
Well, let's see. Picture is probably the easiest way for us to understand what cupcakes are. Right? See, my meeting might have to restart, but no problem. Okay, so these are cupcakes. So they're just like little mini cakes, right? It's very common to have cupcakes at a party. Right? So, So the cupcakes, okay, so the bear falls through the skylight. How do you think he fell through the skylight? Maybe it's a she bear, I'm not sure, but I'll just say he. How did the bear fall through the skylight? What had to happen?
The glass of the window was not how to say hard enough or
Sure. You could maybe say not strong enough, not thick enough, maybe. If we want to do a sentence, the bear stood on top of the skylight and the glass broke. You could just say the glass broke and then he fell down, and down below, yummy cupcakes. So if Guzal, if you were having a party and suddenly crash and a bear falls down and starts eating your cupcakes, what would you do?
Maybe I will scream and run away.
Huh? If you were the person who made the cupcakes, would you get angry and
I will be angry.
huh? What? How dare you eat my lovely cupcakes? Huh? So, what do you think? How did the bear know about the cupcakes? What do you think? Maybe if we make
Maybe
go ahead.
he or it smelled felt its smell.
Aha. Let's see. We're gonna do a sentence. I'll say the bear knew about the cupcakes because he could what? What would you think, Guzal?
Could felt
The first,
smell.
he could smell them, right? So from outside, he climbed on top, and then right.
Or he saw at how a girl was cooking it through the window.
Right. So maybe we could say maybe the bear was hanging around around with an A, around the house and peeking in the windows while the lady was the cupcakes. What do you think?
Cooking.
All right. Let's see. We could say cooking. There's another word that starts with B, which is more specific for bread, cakes.
Not frying, baking.
Yes, baking. Right. So while the lady was baking with an ing, baking the cupcakes, and maybe the bear tried to get through the windows, but the windows were too strong. Went to the roof. Crash. All right. What do you think the people in the party did after the bear came in?
They ran away.
And what else do you think they did?
Call the police.
So, is this a good reason to call the police?
Yes, I think.
Okay. And it's a good question. Is there anything criminal about it? Is there any law that's broken?
I think it's no crime.
Huh? But what?
But in order to protect animals' life and to put him into forest or in the zoo, better to call the police.
Okay. So if you wanted to finish the sentence, what would you say? The people called the police because
they were frightened.
Sure. They were frightened, and they thought the bear might attack them. Is that possible? What do you think?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And also, if the bear fell down, maybe the bear could be hurt too, right? And if the bear is hurt, then maybe it's even more dangerous. So it's better to call the police. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about this situation? I think we have time for one more.
No, I haven't.
Okay. And do you like to eat cupcakes?
Yes, of course.
I think, yeah, exactly. Of course. Everyone likes to eat cupcakes. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to pick which one. Let's do this one. Right. So no picture, but a lot of good vocabulary in this one. So here we go. So I will read it, and then here we go. Let's do it. A BC man is recovering, or let me see, first it says from bad to worse. Okay. A BC man is recovering after a bizarre sequence of events. He was burned in a grass fire and then hit by a train. RCMP, which is actually the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, say the man, 51, was drunk when he fell asleep Wednesday while smoking. He woke to find his clothes on fire and grabbed a bicycle and fled. A short time later, he was hit by a train. He's now recovering from a head gash and burns. An investigation continues. All right, Guzal, would you like to read?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
From bad to worse, a BC man is recovering after a bizarre sequence of events. He was burned in a grass fire and then hit by a train. RCMP say the man 51 was drunk when he fell asleep Wednesday while smoking. He woke to find his clothes on fire and grabbed a bicycle and fled. A short time later, he was hit by a train. He is now recovering from a head gash and burns. An investigation continues.
Okay, so let's see. First, I'll just show you what RCMP is. Just an acronym, which means it's a bunch of letters that stand for something. Royal Canadian Mounted Police. All right? So it's just some of the police that they have up in Canada. And when they said BC, a BC man, this means British Columbia, which is a place, an area up in Canada, right? Okay. So a BC man is a man from British Columbia, the place, and then it's Royal Canadian Mounted Police. How about this? There's some vocabulary in here. Is there any words that you don't recognize that you would like me to explain?
I gash.
A gash. And right down here, he is now recovering from a head gash. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a head gash. That's the phrase. A gash is like a cut. So if you get hit in the head, in this case, he was hit by a train. So the train hit him and probably caused a cut and is probably bleeding. I won't look it up on the internet because it's, bloody and stuff, but it means a cut, a gash. Huh? Okay, and go ahead.
The word fled.
Fled. All right, let's find it in there. Where is it? Oh, and fled. Okay, and I need to restart my meeting, okay? So I'm going to restart, and then you're welcome to come back, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I will be just a moment. Okay, let me restart it. It's me, and my face is really big. Right. There we are. All right, she is back. All right. Okay, Guzal, are you there?
Yes.
All right, welcome back. Okay, so we had fled, and it said, he grabbed a bicycle and fled. All right, so fled just means, if you say he fled, that means he ran away. We could also say he escaped, maybe. But in this case, it just means he ran to a different location, right? He fled. Right? How about the word bizarre? It says after a bizarre sequence of events. Bizarre sequence of events. What's a different way that we could say that? What do you think, Guzal? It's right at the beginning. A man is recovering after a bizarre sequence of events.
Unexpected, maybe
Good.
crazy.
Yes. Unexpected, crazy. Sequence of events. Okay. All right. And who do you think is to blame for what happened to him?
Alcohol.
Okay. So we can blame the alcohol, or should we blame someone else?
Friend.
We should blame the man.
Of course.
Do you think, did someone force him to drink, or did he choose to drink?
I think it is his choice, his own choice.
All right, let's see. What does recovering mean? Maybe I'll put an arrow. I can get an arrow.
Recover, it means to, how to say? To recover, for example, after this disease.
To get better?
Yeah.
Right? To take some time to get healthy again, recover. All right. We already talked about bizarre, which is just a strange sequence of events. So he was burned in a grass fire and then hit by a train. All right. Do you think it's a good idea to fall asleep while smoking?
No, it's not. It's not a good idea.
It's not
It's not a good idea. Smoking at all.
I agree. I think it smells bad. It's not healthy. But this guy, he decided to smoke while he was sleeping. Then he had a problem. Okay, so he woke and his clothes were on fire, and he grabbed a bicycle and fled, or he ran away. So it says a short time later he was hit by a train. So what can we call the place where he was standing before the train hit him?
Rail. Station.
Go ahead.
Railway station.
It's possible. Let's see. And what do we call the man was standing at the railroad. Was standing at the railroad. And why do you think he was standing outside in front of the train?
Maybe because he lost his direction.
Because he was drunk.
Yeah.
And if we want to be specific, we call them railroad ties. I think they're called railroad ties. Let's just take a look. The metal things that run parallel with each other. Okay, wait. So those are the wooden things. We call them the rails then. Rails. There we go. Okay. So the wooden parts are the ties, and then the rails on top. So this could be the guy, right? Except that he's not on fire. So, right. So the train, what do you think the train did before it hit him? What do we call when they go?
Beeped.
We could say beeped, or they blew their horn. They honked their horn. Right. To try to get him out of the way. Okay. All right. And at the top, it's kind of an idiom, but it's fairly easy to understand. What does it mean if it says from bad to worse?
It means if you're in bad or complicated situation, it can get worse. Become worse.
Become even more bad, right? So could you give me an example? It could be from your imagination of a situation where something could go from bad to worse.
For example, someone can steal your phone and not phone, some money.
Uh-huh.
And when you are trying to call a police, this man who stole money can, for example, take this phone too.
Oh, right. He's like, "Oh, you have a phone. Thank you." Uh-huh. Right. Let's see. How about in our first situation where the person called to get help opening the jar. So, well, for this person the bad situation was that they're like, "Ugh, I can't open the jar." So that's maybe bad, but how could it get worse? What do you think? What could make this situation worse?
He could he could break the jar and hurt himself.
Sure. Or drop the jar and it smashes. Or even different kind of worse would be when the police come.
They get him to the police station.
They arrest him and they say, "You're wasting our time and it's against the law to." Well, maybe one time or two times, probably not a big deal. But I remember when I was working, there was a lady who was a little bit crazy. She would call the police when she wanted to order Domino's pizza. Right? You know Domino's pizza?
No.
Let's see. So this is Domino's pizza. Right? It's just the brand name, but it's just pizza. So there was a lady, she would continue to call the police when she wanted to order pizza. And eventually they arrested her and they brought her to jail because he is wasting the police's time. Because they should be doing other things more important. Okay. Right. So let's see. Do you have any more questions? Any questions about this article?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to move forward to the closing part. And at the very end, I have another picture because I like to end my lives with a picture that will describe. So just bear with me for a moment. It's just quick review. Today this is a live lesson. We explored and explained interesting or strange news situations. All right, so we'll put a check mark and just do my end thing. Right, improve English, become more valuable. If you like our stuff on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. Animation. If you're already subscribed, there's a bell button, and YouTube will let you know when we have something new. Okay. Oh, and also we're on Telegram now. Right, so we have new content every day, a weekly theme on Telegram, and you're welcome to join. It's just at AbleLingo or t.me/AbleLingo. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a picture and we're going to describe it. All right, so Guzal, can you tell me what do you see in this picture, or what is the situation?
An interview. A young woman in blue gown, maybe.
Sure.
Is interviewed, maybe, or just make a report for a channel.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Sure.
we see a man with equipment, with camera focused on her.
Right.
The woman reporting some good news because she's smiling, she's happy.
Huh? How about the time of day? What do you think?
It's afternoon or morning.
Okay. And how about the weather? How's the weather?
Weather is nice. No, not windy.
Huh?
Um,
Okay, sure. And
maybe it's summer. It's
sure.
warm.
And how about the location? Can't see a lot of the background, but what do you think is the location?
These are standing near uh, fence, not fence, hedge.
Ah, like bushes or maybe trees? Maybe a hedge?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, and what kind? Well, if you ask me, it looks like a reporter, I would say, or maybe a correspondent, someone who is giving the news, sharing the news. What kind of news do you think she is sharing?
Mm, maybe fashion, not fashion. Uh, about some news about stars or singers.
Ah, like celebrities.
Yeah.
Huh? Is it possible that she is talking about this news story?
um, I don't think so.
Don't think so. And she's like, and the cupcakes were delicious. Uh, Probably not. Yeah, I agree. Probably not. So,
Because
go ahead.
Bear could hurt himself. It wasn't funny situation.
Uh-huh.
Ah no, he ate cupcakes. He was happy, I think.
Sure.
It wasn't that situation.
Sure. Sure. All right. So if I summarize the picture in a couple sentences, I would say it looks like they are broadcasting live, which just means putting out the news. Because this camera it could be broadcasting live, kind of like I'm doing now on YouTube, broadcasting live to the world. There is a reporter who is smiling like crazy and reporting on the news. It could be about a celebrity. Maybe they're standing in front of a celebrity home or someone famous, and she's talking about what they ate for breakfast. And they're like, "Ooh, they had oranges for breakfast, and it was wonderful." And what do we call? What is she holding in her hand?
Mm, microphone.
Huh? She's holding a microphone, and then we have the guy with his pretty professional camera there doing the news. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is the end of my lesson today because I need to get going. I want to say thank you, Guzal, for joining me and being part of the lesson.
Thank you, Michael. Too. I want to apologize for my mistakes.
Oh,
Everyone.
no need to apologize. And I will say a couple things if it's all right. I admire your confidence for coming live, right? Because when you have confidence like this, you take a risk, right? It's uneasy. We're not sure. Is this Michael guy crazy? Right? But it's good. It will help your English immensely in an enormous way because it will give you more confidence. And even if you make mistakes, those mistakes will help you improve, right? So I want to say very well done. It's very good to have confidence to come live and be able to talk in a situation like this. I think you did very well. So I give you 2 thumbs up.
Thank you much.
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to end my live for today. I want to say thank you to Guzal and everybody who is watching and everyone else in the comments. Okay, so that is it. I will say, see you soon. All right, bye bye, Guzal.
Bye.